Sorry for a slightly late start today. My laptop was hijacked by my daughter. This whole new learning at home. Um, it's not even homeschooling, it is how to deal with education in an emergency global pandemic. Let's call it that. Anyway, I hope you're all well. My name is Sapna Chandaria, and this is episode 14 of The Great Gathering. So, welcome once again. For those of you just joining for the first time, I am an intuitive energy healer and an empowerment coach. And I've been doing this for more than 20 years now. Luckily, having been born with a gift and knowing from a young age that I'm able to help others and do this work. So, thank you once again for joining me. What are we talking about today? We are on episode 14, and if you get a chance to go through all of the other episodes that have come before this, you will see a pattern in how I teach, what I teach, why I am doing this work. This started before the pandemic, really became part of the global collective consciousness, and I'm grateful that I was just guided to do these and to start helping people, to start giving people tips and tools to really get into their spiritual work and their spiritual nature. This is what we're being called to do right now, is step into our spiritual nature as well as our emotional nature and connect with it, tap into it, understand what it is, understand the strengths and the weaknesses and what we have to do with it. So right now, this time is a time of reset 2020. And what is it that we're actually resetting? Pretty much everything. Let's sort of discuss a little bit about how that works. Okay, so as we reset our energetic field, it then filters into our physical body. And what is ultimately our physical energy field? This is how it's always worked. This is how it will always work, because we are uh, guided and living within the laws of the universe. So, for example, in the past, we would refer to how physical disease forms in the body, and if you're treating it holistically, we talk about um, belief systems. So, belief systems, blocked energy in our chakra systems, in our meridians, for example. And if we continue to go at the pace that we were going at, some of us ended up with physical disease, some of us ended up with mental sort of imbalances, emotional imbalances, spiritual imbalances. So let's apply that same uh, theory and concept and science to what we are calling reset. So, as we reset our energy field, as we start changing and start strengthening and becoming more aware of who we are in our energy fields, we're then able to influence what happens to us on a physical level. Does that make sense to everyone? Please feel free to, make comments, etc. So, what are we resetting actually? And what is that one thing that most of us have not really been tapped into forever? It's our spiritual nature. And don't get me wrong, going to church, believing in God, going to the mosque, going to wherever you go to express prayer and your connection to source, that's all okay. But I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about spirituality. I'm talking about the spiritual aspect of your nature, which, whether you like it or not, is there. And it's a part of who you are. It's a part of all of who we are. So what we're doing here in the Great Gathering and within this reset is we are strengthening our inner tools. And those inner tools include awareness, include being present, include knowing ourselves, include even liking ourselves. How many of you actually like who you are? Can I have a show of hands or a like? How many of you actually like the person that you are today? For most of you watching this, you have an understanding of these concepts. So I would hope that most of you do actually like yourselves. You're watching this also on my personal feed, and even though this is Facebook, I have connected with most of you personally. And so really the question is, do you actually like who you are? And in all of my sessions that I start, when I start working with people's belief systems, I ask 5 or 6 sort of basic beliefs, right? 1, do you like yourself? 2, do you love yourself? Because there's a subtle difference between liking yourself and loving yourself. 3, do you accept yourself for who you are? Do you accept yourself? Because we have to move into this radical acceptance of who we are. Do you think you're good enough? And do you believe your body can heal itself? Okay, out of these 5 questions, 99.9% of you will have answered no, if you've answered honestly and truthfully. And so the spiritual tools and the spiritual energy field that I'm talking about is where these questions lie. At this moment in time, with this reset, surely we're all asking ourselves these existential questions. Who am I? Am I happy? Do I like myself? Do I love myself? Am I good enough? And if you're not asking those questions yet, please start. Okay, please start. And the only way to get past it is to go through it and to be deeply, deeply honest with yourselves. Okay, deeply honest with yourselves. This is the time you have an opportunity to be honest with yourself. And it's okay if you don't like who you are. It's okay. This is the opportunity to change. Okay, this is the opportunity that we all have to become better, to really engage in community, to go back to Mother Earth and learn the lessons that she has to teach us, and really reconnect to that part of our nature. Okay, so what are the 3, 4 things that we have to do that are part of our essential nature as human beings? Okay, 1 is that we're all connected to the earth. And right now, while we've been talking about this reset and we've been talking about Mother Earth taking a reset, we're all connected. None of this is happening, oh, humans over here, Mother Earth over here. It's not like that. If Mother Earth is in an emergency, so are human beings in an emergency. If Mother Earth is in reset, so are human beings in a reset. There is no separation. Okay, and we absolutely have to go back to the lessons that she's here to teach us. What are those lessons? Comments, people, comments. What are those lessons that Mother Earth wants us to learn? Okay. I'll leave that question out there. I know the answers. I want you to figure those out. And I want you to make comments, and I want you to tell me what you think. What are the lessons Mother Earth wants us to learn? Okay, so that's one big message. The other big message is, and I'm talking in the context of this reset that we're all going through. The other big message is how many of you are actually doing what you say and saying what you do, walking your talk. This is a time to become brutally honest with ourselves and with everyone else. I don't think that many of us are left in a place where we would take offense if someone says, I don't think we can be friends on Facebook anymore. In fact, I've been unfriending several people who I haven't spoken to in 3 years or more. Let's clean out the stuff that doesn't serve us, clean out the stuff that doesn't, do any good for us. So, are you walking your talk? Are you doing what you say you're going to do? And are you being absolutely honest and having that deep sense of integrity? Okay, this is so crucial right now because we cannot afford, first of all, to lie to ourselves, to lie to each other, to pretend like as if everything's okay. The masks that we've been wearing all of these years, whether it's in relationships, whether it's in our jobs, whether it's in, extended family, whatever that is, whether it's with ourselves, we cannot afford to wear those masks anymore. It's time for those masks to come straight off and actually start liking the person that you find underneath. There's nothing not to like, really. There's nothing not to like. Oh, life is too short. And the only reason we don't like things or people or situations is because we haven't done our deep inner spiritual work on ourselves, of which a big part is acceptance of who we are, flaws and all. It's okay, really. And then the third major message to all of you, to me, to all of us today is we have to live from our heart. We have to get out of our heads. We have to live from our heart. And we have to listen to our heart. Our heart is going to guide us. Our heart doesn't tell us to judge others, to be mean with our words, to be critical, to not share, to not take care of our community if we are able to not take care of each other. That's not the language of the heart. The language of the heart is open and loving, of course. It's honest. It's clear. It wants the best for everyone. It wants everyone to succeed. I can't tell you how important it is to do that. And only by starting to do that will you see any kind of shift in your life. If you stay stuck in the same places that you always have been, you will not find the solutions to get out. And I think I've really spoken a lot about this on the last 3 weeks that we've been doing this. Infuse your actions and your words with love. That's all there is to it. And these are the messages that I'm hearing from our elders, from Mother Earth, from my own heart. So those are the three big messages, okay? And really take time, slow down, reset, all of those things. Today, I also want to honor our ancestors and our lineage and the elders, the grandmothers and the grandfathers who've done everything they can to bring us to this point in time. They've taken care of us. They've sacrificed a lot for us to be here. And I really just want to honor them and be grateful and give our thanks to all that they have given us, all that they have taught us. Without them, we wouldn't be here, right? So, in your daily intentions today, in your daily prayers, your thoughts, your gratitude, whatever that is, please give thanks to our ancestors and the generations that came before us, so that we could be here today and that we could be really creating a beautiful future for our kids and the future of this earth. So, yeah, I mean, every day there's big news. Every day we're trying to keep up with what's happening. And I can tell you, we don't have to. We don't have to keep up. We don't have to pretend. If we just continue doing the best that we can do and be the best that we can be, walking our talk, living from our heart, listening to Mother Earth, really the shifts are going to be enormous. And we can all be proud of the result on the other side of this. Okay. Yeah, if there's any comments or questions, please, feel free to ask. Energy wise, there is definitely a shift. And I don't know how many of you are actually on my Soulful Living page or not, but I want to remind you that the reason I talk about raising your vibration and raising your frequency and what we have to do that and what you have to do that is because the higher your vibration, the more light you carry. Okay, and the more light you carry, the less you'll get sick, the happier you'll be, the easier you'll manifest, all sorts of things. The more connected to the divine you will be. Okay, so why do we want to raise our vibration? Is so that we can truly be carriers of light. We can be the bearers of light. And it seems like right now there is absolutely no compromise. And the more of us who are able to do that, this is not a luxury, by the way. This is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's an absolute necessity. And the more of us that we can carry that light, the better off we will all be as a collective. And this is how we contribute to the betterment of humanity, the increased vibration, the more love, the more connection, more community, more understanding, more compassion and forgiveness for each other. Okay? I don't think I can say any more today. I think those are pretty clear messages. And I love you and I appreciate you all. Okay? Sending you much, much love. Please do connect into the Surrender Challenge. Let me know what's going on. I have a call coming in, I think, from my daughter's school. So sending you lots and lots of love. Okay?